All right, guys, welcome to the group call for the week. I just muted myself. I had some feedback. Hope you guys have all had a really good weekend and also enjoying the signals from this amazing signal chart today. I only put this on a few minutes ago, but I can see the absolute powerful level of these indicators of the signal chart that is just absolutely killing it. We've had amazing divergence today. I think especially from 7 p.m. we had that momentum line really shift, some breakout markers left behind. Since the beginning of the session, we had a little bit of action over there, but after these divergences here, we basically had green bars all the way up here. So that was a huge move. And this is on the just on a range bar. I mean, range bars aren't obviously the best bar. I only put these on here because everybody has access to range bars, so they can see, what it actually is, or they can relate to what they're seeing on the chart. But ultimately, the absolute very best way to trade this is with the DTB bars. So I'll just switch it to that. Take a few minutes to come in. But yeah, same type of thing there. We had, let me just make sure that this is not centered on scale. We had the gold bars come up at the beginning of the session, and then green bars all the way up. So that's like a huge run up, and now divergences with markers left behind. So that's pretty cool. Fantastic signal chart. What about our take it and run? Also amazing signal over there. That started above, our jawline and everything. So that was looking up the whole time. So from session open, this has been going up, which is pretty powerful. What a roller coaster of a week we've had. Jesus, I think we started last week, on 20,200 or something crazy like that. So it's a real roller coaster, this Nasdaq, eh? Trend analysis multi, that's looking nice. That also showed upwards. I can't really tell that for sure because this updates as the trend lines are appearing. But obviously that is our trade support, giving us those signals with our volume on the left here. Very nice. Okay, so we're up to our 1 hour 20 smoothing average. So pretty awesome little signal chart. You can look at different options on what you are looking to trade. But it's amazing how these levels often come into play, especially the Fibonacci levels. I mean, they are the absolute key. Look how we started the session today at around the 38.2, which is the 4 hour 38.2, bouncing off there, going up. Fantastic. Okay, so I'll minimize this. Let's start with let's look at our results. Okay, so last week started from the 15th. So thank you guys for sharing. Good to see you guys are getting payouts and that the strategies are working very well with the DCA rules. So that's awesome. I've really also made sure that I'm providing you guys templates and game plan templates that will not break any trading rules for any of these funded account companies that you may be working with. So you're fine on there. Had a bit of a loss. I think this was you, Christopher, on one of your templates. Yeah, it was definitely quite a roller coaster week. That's why last week I also decided to only run the micros, as you can see from the game plan last week. So that's good. What else did we have during the week? Okay. Oh yes. So with some of the templates this week, when the market moves extremely quick, NinjaTrader does struggle to handle the orders that come through to it. So very often when the strategy is entering positions or it's about to exit positions, it will have take profit, like the take profit ticks and the daily target and stop. So you can imagine those being executed at the exact same time. So, you've got two trades that are supposed to be exiting at the daily profit and target, but the stop ticks and the daily profit target is generating at the exact same time. So what's happening there is sometimes NinjaTrader is duplicating positions, and those are leading to rogue entries. So that's why I've worked on a rogue trade identifier. But basically it's the NinjaTrader internal order management system. It's not quite, how can I say this? It's not quite, the positions are shit. How do I say this nicely? It's not quite able to deal with the influx of the orders and all the dictionary, the order names and everything being put through to NinjaTrader and deal with them effectively. So it's struggling a bit with that, especially when the market is moving fast. But I've got a fix for that anyway. But it doesn't happen often. So often we'll have the strategies exit normally at daily profit target, and then there'll be no issues. It's only when then those orders are hitting at exactly the same time that we've had small issues in the past, and also last week. Okay, so good to see results being shared there. So thank you for that. Game plan results. This was pretty cool. So last week, not going to run through every single day. I just put a summary here. So you'll see what I'll do is every single week for the game plan, I'm going to put a summary of what the game plan actually generated. So last week, like I said, we were only running the MNQ and GC. So we're literally only running those. And this was the day where I had some rogue entries happen after the daily profit target was hit. So after the daily profit target was hit, there were still positions open in the market, and I manually had to close them. So that's why I spent the entire week working on this rogue trade thing. So we got a good fix. But anyway, we had an amazing week on the strategies. So very awesome about that. Got my blah. So I only woke up about 30 minutes ago. Had an extremely late night, probably just after 2 a.m. trying to finish some things over here. So I only had about 6 hours. Anyway, all good. So we are looking fantastic with the results. We are looking absolutely amazing with them. We've got our new game plan for the week. So, everybody has a link to this game plan document. It's in the chat, in the Discord chat. And you can actually view the strategies templates before the week starts. So there's a note I put here that says, make sure you activate your strategies prior to the session start time. So that's before the start time that's in the strategy settings. So the thing is, when you activate a strategy and it's within the trading hours, it could very well be putting limit orders in place based on the previous signal. Now, if those limit orders happened historically and you activated the strategy, then the strategy is going to kick out. Okay, so it's important to activate the strategies prior to the trading session starts. If by some chance you do miss out by 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, just adjust your start time in your strategy to 5 minutes later. So you can still trade the session, but just adjust the start time. That's a little trick there. Okay. All right. So at RTY this week, I've gone for a 25-10 chart, and you'll see that's what it looks like over there. Very nice results on that. It looks like a really, really good template. As you can see, I've got a lot of history on that. So out of this template, we've only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losing days out of all of these days here. So that's the historical results of this. And that's obviously including, everything that's needed, slippage and commission and all that. So that looks like a nice positive template with a good return. What else? MNQ. Okay, so MNQ also, I've got the 4-4. So this is the strategy analyzer window. So what I've done over here for you guys is I've actually put down the strategy analyzer from the dates that it was optimized. So you'll see over here, it's been optimized from the 26th of May to the 27th of July. And it's showing all of these results, okay? But on the chart itself, we've only loaded from the 7th of July. So you'll see on the chart over here, it says 2,400 with 304 drawdown. But this one says 4,500 with 832 drawdown. Okay, yes, that's showing that. So the reason why these look different is because we're not loading the full range of dates on the trading chart. We don't want to load too much data on there. So all we've done on the trading chart is we've loaded from the 7th of July up until today. So only like 3 weeks of data. Okay, so that's why that looks different. And that's why you'll see it'll say 2-4. And then you can always look at your historical results. So as soon as you load up from like the 7th of July up until today, and you go, right click on the chart, strategy performance, real time and historical, it will show only these few days, you see? So you'll see the net profit, 399, 383, 394, all those values over there. So if you look at that and you scroll up here, you'll see that they match over here. So they match the last days of historical performance. Okay, so that's how you can just check that it's all working fine. There's the second MNQ template. So this one here has a 2-2 trade size. So the previous one had a 4-4 trade size. This one has a 2-2 trade size. So there's a few different templates in this game plan that can suit all different size trading accounts. So that's why I've created 2 different MNQ templates, and I run them together. I run them together on the same account, no problem at all, because they often take trades at different areas. But this one over here, all that this one is doing is it's targeting, like $140 a day with a $200 stop. So a lot of trading accounts can handle that. Even if you're using like a funded trading service on like a $50,000 or $25,000 account, you can run the strategy pretty comfortably because it'll just tick on. It'll just tick on that. And the same thing over here. I did the optimization for a much larger period, 26th of May up until the 27th or up until today. And that is the historical results, 2.7 with a 300 drawdown, 83% profitability. So these are all the trading days. You see, so now look at the last trading day. It was a loss of 207 minus 9, 237. So that is that. And when you load it on the, actually, this is showing, hang on, 19th of July. I might have activated the chart incorrectly. That should be 9, 10, 11. It shouldn't be 9, 10, 11. I think the dates on the chart might be incorrect there. But it's a similar concept to the previous one. Okay, so you load it up and you check the results. MNQ. So that is that. So 11, 10, 9. Why is it showing 11, 10, 9? Did I have the wrong dates on the chart? Maybe that's what I actually had the wrong dates specifically on the chart. I'm trying to find those dates. Come on. Okay, so I'll quickly review that after the call and when I load the game plan in a few minutes. But apart from that, okay, here's the NQ. So that's the NQ strategy template. Same thing over here. I've done a period of time. This one over here I've done from the 26th of May up until now. So this is a very, looks like an amazing template actually. It's got a 93% accuracy rate with only a 1600 drawdown. So that's I love this template. It's also using a few more filters. So we've activated a few more filters in the strategy. So that is looking fantastic. That is the historical results of that. So again, I've taken all the historical results from these days and I've showed all the days over here. And this strategy is set to have a stop loss of 1400 per day as its maximum amount that it will lose. So that's what has been set up on there. We haven't got an MGC template for the 3 a.m. to 8:25. I didn't get to finish that. I just want to check something on here. Yeah, okay. So when you load the NQ template, it's basically just exactly what you're seeing over here. It's those dates. Okay, that's fine. Now for the gold, I've done a different bar size. So the gold, you'll see it's on a 2313 bar size. I did a bit of work around that. This is not going to enter a lot of trades. Again, it's only on the micros. It's a trade size of 2 and 2. So it's only going to enter up to 4 micro contracts. And it's going to trade between 8:45 and 11:30. This one hasn't got a huge historical result to it. So we might not see many trades on this one this week, but I'm just putting it there anyway. I'm still going to run it. And that's what that looks like. So, oh yes, I took a picture of this. So you'll see on this specific template, you'll see a trade over here where the entry and exit is on the same bar. So we'll look at that in a moment, and I'll explain to you why that's not a huge problem on this specific template, and how you guys can also look at that for future reference when you are reviewing your own templates and creating your own templates. That's the MGC, the last historical results. So again, we've only put a few days on the chart, so they're only going to show that. And then I took a screenshot of what they're all going to look like. So yeah, that's the the game plan. I'll load it up. I'll load it up shortly. Let me just see. Actually, I might just load that up right away. Okay, so if I go to my workspaces and I click on game plan, that is going to be there. I don't know what the freaking hell that means. An item with the same key has already been added. Nice. Okay, NinjaTrader, nice. All right, whatever that means, I don't know. So I'm just going to. It's a bit of a fruit salad. You get things just randomly throwing out at you. Anyway. Okay, so that is the RTY. So I'm going to go to the strategies. I'm going to load up the RTY. Like I'm just putting this on my sim account for now, just to show you what it looks like when it's activated. So you'll see on this one over here. So on the first RTY template, I've actually activated the smoothing filter. So that is one of the filters that have been activated, and that is what it'll look like. Give that a moment. Okay, and then on the MNQ strategy, okay, if I go to the strategies over there. Okay, so with the baseline wick trader strategy, what I've done over here is I've put in a setting over here. Let me just see if I can locate it. So you still got your normal, your trading start time, your end time. That's in there. I've only got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on here. That's very interesting. Unless I've not loaded the template. Let me just recheck that. Okay, so MNQ. So I'm going to go template and I'm going to go load. And I'm going to choose that specific template, which is the 4-4. Okay, so that's the specific template we're going to load. I've only got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on that. That's very interesting. Okay, no problem. That just means it's going to trade only on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week. Okay, so before I enable that, I wanted to show you guys this one setting in here. Okay, here it is here. So it's use flatten account. So in order to avoid any positions open beyond trading hours or beyond daily profit targets hit or daily stops hit, you can use this button over here. So what this will do is it's the exact same function and principle as if you right click on your chart trader and you go flatten everything. That's what this does. So it flattens the account. So it doesn't care what the strategy is doing. So as soon as the daily stop and target kicks in, or the daily, strategy target, or the daily strategy stop, or even the trading hours, the end of the trading hours kicks in, what it's going to do is it's going to execute everything as the strategy should. So it's going to exit the positions, but to as an absolute fail safe, this is going to access the trading account that it is running on, and it's going to flatten the trading account. So it's going to close positions at the account level and disable every single strategy trading on that specific account. So that is what this is going to do. So it's completely fail-safe. It's an amazing fail-safe to have if you are experiencing some issues with rogue orders or trades. So the only thing is it's going to disable the strategy. So if you want to see your strategy performance, you would need to go into the account in your control panel and go, new trade performance, and bring up your account and select, the day, and then you'll see all the trades entered. So I'm just doing this because, some of you are not watching your computers while the strategies are running. And like that just, that's an absolute fail safe, just until I build enough bridges over the the current infrastructure, let's put it that way. Okay, so that's what that is. Don't worry about or work with the experimental money management yet. I haven't actually continued work on that, but that's quite an amazing new thing that I am working on. It's going to be quite awesome, actually. It's going to definitely make a big difference to the ultimate performance of the strategies. Trying to get a more average value of results, so that's going to be fantastic. So for right now, you've got this specific option. Okay, I just want to activate this and just see what it looks like on the chart. Where is my thing? Okay, just going to put this out of the way for a sec, and while that's busy activating. Okay, perfect. So if you look at that, you will see that if you load up that strategy, and then you had to go and look at the game plan document, which I'm just bringing up over here, you'll see that that 2,400 and the 308 is basically matching what you are seeing on the document. So that's a good way to compare your strategies to the results on here. So always load up the game plan document, look at the historical performance, and make sure that's all matching on your side. Then you got your strategies set up for the day. So this whole process only takes about 4 or 5 minutes, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so that is the game plan. So I've got a few new little additions that I'm working on at the moment. So I'm just going to switch back to the indicator sample one. I don't know what the frick that means. Jesus, man. Give me a break. Okay, so last week we also worked on a very nice update, which was the trade zone. So I'm going to bring that up again. So if we go into the indicator settings over here, come on. I'm just going to remove all of these. Okay, so we've got at the bottom over here, DTB trade zone. So this puts in the specific trading zones for the times. So if we look at this, and we're currently within a specific trading zone, but if you remember from last week, what happens is it is grouping the certain time of the day. So like this one here is grouping from 9:30 to 9:35, and it's putting a zone around that, and then it's got extensions for that zone. So you'll see over there, it's got all those different levels. So this zone over here is defined, and then these are exact values to duplicate that size zone. And then it's got these red lines and these green lines, to show you, what price is doing around them. Okay, so that is that. Now in the indicator settings, I did fix it up from last week, because remember there was a slight little thing where we clicked a button and it showed the trade zones, all the Fibonacci levels. So yeah, I've got selecting only the one fib extension, and it's only going to put the fibs around the one level. So that's fine to use like that. Really cool to use. And that's going to show up until the next session. So those values are there. So I'm sure you guys have had a good look at that during the week and seeing how, price moves around this level. So for some of you guys, to better understand this, you got your initial zone, which is from your 9 to 935 or 930 to 935. And then, you can trade the price as it exits these zones or even retest these zones. So a popular opinion for this is, you getting this initial zone, you're seeing what price is doing, and then when it's back within the zone and it's retesting it without breaking through like that, that could be a show of force that the price is going to go down. So, there's that type of way of trading it in and out the zones. I prefer using like the Fibonacci levels too, to really understand where those support and resistance lines are, as well as the volume breakout markers. But, again, as soon as these values are broken through, often they'll come back and retest and move around, break through. I mean, they're constantly in play. So that is that. Now, there is another indicator that I have not added yet to the tool suite, but it's working on that same concept, and I'll bring it up on my other computer. So I'll bring it out over here. And this is, I've called this indicator, I've called it DTB Trade Zone Extension. So you'll see that you won't see it in your list at the moment, but from next week you should see it in there. But it's basically going to be called DTB Trade Zone Extension. And what this does is, it's also an amazing way to trade it. But what this does is it takes that opening range. Okay, so like here's on a 30-30 chart. So it takes the opening range from the 930, so 930 to 935. So it takes that range, and it also draws that same boundary around price, right? You see it's still drawing the same boundaries of the high and low of between that 930 and 935. But then what it's doing is, after an hour of the session, so this is set to 60 minutes. So the indicator is going to have a specific value in there where you can choose your period. So we basically got a few different areas. We've got the initial range, which is your 930 to 935. And then we have the opening range, which is basically the first 60 minutes. And again, you can make the 60 minutes, you can make it 90 minutes, you can make it 15 minutes. But 60 minutes is generally the idea and the concept behind this. So it's basically saying that within the first 60 minutes of trading, we've basically got your range determined. So what it's going to do is, after 60 minutes, it's going to get the high and low of the period between the 930 and 1030. And it's going to draw these extensions. So it's going to draw a 50% extension, 100%, 150, and a 200% extension. So what that looks like is exactly like this. So you've got your 930 to 935, you've got your high and low. And then at 1030, it's going to draw a line where the lowest point of that period was. So this entire period over here, which is between the 930. So just like it did over there, it's going to take this entire period and it's going to draw the high and low of that value, which is what it did over there. And now that's going to be defined as the opening range high, the opening range low, the open specifically of the price, and also the opening range middle. So that there is now going to be defining the price. That's a lot. It's also cleaner. It's like very clean on the chart. And these values, or these lines, are going to be showing up until the end of the session. Again, you've got, once you've got that opening range like that, you can look at this and then you can see what price is doing around that. So when it says 50% range extension, that means that the 50% of this total range, that is that value. So it's basically half of this. So if you use your ruler, there's the full range between the 9:30 and 10:30 is 712 ticks. You're going to see that 50% is going to be, half of that. Okay, and then beyond that, you've got a 100 range extension, 150 range, and the 200 range extension. So that's obviously if price is going to move a lot further. So looking at this, you'll see price. And again, when you're looking at this chart, from next week, and you're seeing breakout markers being left behind, you're seeing divergences, and you're seeing that the price is at these levels, you could get some really good scalping opportunities around them too. So the idea behind this is for anybody to just open up a chart at any time, see exactly where the price is, and say, okay, well, there's a high chance this is going to happen or that's going to happen. I'm going to enter positions based on that. So, there's the price going. I can go back. So like there was, what was this date? 11th. There's your opening range like that. You see it painted at 10:30, came down, went below, came back, retested. You can see there's the 100%. And you'll see how the price just moves around. So that was the end of the trading day, which is 5 p.m. That is where, is it 5? Yeah. The end of the range, that's where those lines stop drawing on the chart. Okay, so carry on like this. There's the next trading day. There's your opening range defined. There's all your range extensions. And, you're going to see some good signals from these two. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this when it is ready. But I'm just giving you guys a taste now for what it looks like. You can get some ideas. If you've got any ideas on this, you can pop it through to me. Now, I am putting in a significant amount of code. And the reason why I haven't released this yet is because I'm working on the specific code between this section over here that's going to continue on for the rest of the day. And it's all got to do with buy, sell pressure, velocity. And I'm going to be producing some sort of an alert there to give you a certain percentage of where price is likely to go next. So, while a lot of people are working on, individual indicators and crap like that, I'm working on a system where I'm combining 10, 12, 15, 20 indicators. And based on all of those indicators, it's giving me a percentage of the buy and sell signals of all of them, and it's going to spit out a value. So say, for example, you're looking at a chart like this and you see a percentage, it'll say, trade direction, it'll say 50%. Then you know that all the indicators are, like 50% of the indicators are showing buy signals, 50% of them are showing sell signals. So there's no bias. It's basically a flat market at the moment. And then as those percentages go up and down, you will see if it goes into, minus territory, then you'll see it'll be like the sellers are in control, or the buyers are in control based on the signals of those indicators. So I'm really combining a lot of back end work into the tools to give you guys the highest probability of your trade entries. But yeah, I like this. I think this is pretty awesome. You'll see how, price goes. And, sometimes you can see after a certain time of the day, and you want to enter positions, okay, well, now that the price is below that opening range, you're only going to take short positions over there. And then if it's bouncing around a range like that, okay, well, there's a good chance that it's going to be bouncing around a bit more. So you're going to enter positions like that. But I think this is pretty awesome. So I'm working behind the scenes on this. And again, you can apply your additional indicators to it, but that's going to be pretty special. So when I'm completed with this, I shall be releasing it to you guys. I'm just showing you guys what I am doing in the background. So pretty exciting. And again, if you have any ideas on that, anything you want to contribute to that, that'll be awesome while it's still in development. Okay, so that's as far as the... Oh, actually, no, that's not as far as it's gone. There's one more thing. And I might be putting this... So if you go into your indicators, you'll see at the bottom over here, you've got a vertical line at time. Okay, so this indicator, I'm trying to get a a system in place where a strategy is not doing all the hard work. So what happens with NinjaTrader is if a strategy kicks out for whatever reason, it disables, then obviously you've got no track of what's happening on the trading account because the strategy is not reporting back to you. So what I've done is I've programmed in an indicator that basically gives you alert to tell you if the trading platform has, lost connection or it has an issue. So what this is going to be doing is, first of all, it's got a connection email. So if you want to be alerted for connection dropout, you've got to put your email in here. So I'm going to put here DTB sandbox@gmail.com. You see, you got to first test things in the sandbox environment, right? Before you launch them to the whole world and disrupt airlines and stuff, So I've got my DTB sandbox account where I test all my updates. So what's going to happen now, and you can also select an account, right? So you can select an account that you want to monitor, and it can actually be any account that you're trading on. Now, these specific values here, the 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., what it's going to do is it's going to monitor positions during that period of the day. So it's going to send you emails for positions that are opened on the trading account, and not on the strategy, on the trading account between those times of the day. So it's basically giving you an alert that's not part of a strategy. So it's telling you what's happening on the trading account, not just on the strategy. Because if the strategy fails, you still want to be able to know what's happening on the trading account. So that's what this is going to do. Now, this specific thing over here for the connection alerts. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm just going to okay that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my email, if I can find it. Where is my email? It's not that. I'm pretty sure I had it open earlier. Where the hell is it? You are kidding me, man. Pretty sure I had this damn thing open. Okay. Let me just open up another one here. So Gmail. And just gonna log in very quickly. I freaking had this open, man. God damn it. Okay, just 1 second while I just log in here. Okay, so DTB Sandbox. And that should work. All right, getting there. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring up our control center, and I'm going to bring up my sandbox email. So I'll just do one more thing. Sorry, I should have had this prepared properly before. Okay, so here's the email. Okay. Oh crap. So this is not going so well today. Anyway, so there's the email. So what's going to happen is if I go to connections and I go disconnect, okay? Yeah. If it disconnects, you are going to get, did I have, yeah. Just make sure I've got the right settings in here, indicators. dtbsandbox@gmail.com, so that's definitely in there. Oh, I got the wrong, I've got the account, so that's fine. And then I'm going to just reconnect again, connection and connect. I'm just running this in the back end just to make sure I've got the right things going on here. Amazing when you want to show something and then you have, little issues in the back end. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's give it a second to respond. I'm going to remove this indicator just for right now. So the idea behind this was to also put it on a separate chart. So not to have it running with your strategies, but having a separate chart loaded so that you're not, impacting anything with your strategies. You've just got a separate little chart running on the side that's just monitoring your account connection. Okay, just give me 1 sec, guys. Sorry. So you're monitoring the specific account also, and I can see why there's a delay here, because I've got all these other indicators behind the scenes busy calculating. So that's probably not the best way to show this. And while I've got that workspace open, but I will just give it a moment just to keep calculating. Come on, man. Yeah, so I was running this the whole weekend, and basically what it was doing, and last week. So you have, as soon as it disconnects, it's going to say there that indicator has detected no price movement within the last 3 minutes. So either NinjaTrader has frozen, crashed, or you've lost connection. Check NinjaTrader ASAP. Courtesy of DTB traders, keeping you informed so shit does not hit the fan. So obviously, if you're losing a connection and you've got automated strategies running, you're going to have open positions exposed to the market, right? So that is what this is going to do. And then as soon as it reconnects, it's going to say data feed reconnected. So the indicator itself is actually monitoring the data feed. So, that's when this works, which it is damn working. Look at all these freaking emails. I've been testing it all the time, 21 July, over the last 2 days, I've been testing this. So there was 9:32 a.m., which was an hour ago. So I basically had this running and, testing the price movement into the sandbox account here. So it's just that now this thing is obviously just hanging a little bit for some reason. And I think I know what it is, because I've got all these signal charts on the back end here, and then I'm loading up additional indicators and disconnecting, reconnecting. So I should have already done this with a different workspace, not with this specific workspace. And I've also got the game plan workspace in the background. So it's another good lesson to learn. Don't have too many workspaces open, because it's definitely going to make NinjaTrader very sluggish. Actually, I might just leave this now, because it's going to take too long to finish this. But that's the idea behind it. So if you guys want to run that yourself, you'll see that you can activate that. You can disconnect from your data feed, reconnect, and it will actually send those emails to you. And this section over here, where it's monitoring specific times of the day for entries, I'm going to be testing that this week during live conditions to make sure all those entries are basically being collected, recollected, and the indicator is actually giving us, alerts, because it actually emails you alerts based on what's happening. So as an example of what that looks like, if I find more of those emails, I just want to find the next page over here. So this is where it's going to pick up like the rogue orders. So it's going to tell you which orders are active, what the status of them is, and it's going to tell you there your unrealized profit and loss, how much positions are currently active, and it's saying that the indicator is picking up that an order that is not matching what the strategy is entering, or what's supposed to be on that account. So it's a good little back end thing, and yeah, for some reason it's just not functioning right now based on my workspace. But yeah, it does work well. So I might have to demonstrate that next week when this is all working properly. Okay, I'll try one more time because this looks like it's all, oh God, you know what? Workspaces. Sorry, I'm all over the place today, guys. You're not normally have me like this. Oh, and of course, when you close a workspace, it'll open up the last one. So I'm just going to close this one too. Okay, I'm going to just open up a new chart. And let's just give this a go one more time. So I'm just going to open an NQ chart, just like that's fine. Okay, and I'm going to go to the indicators. And I'm going to go to that specific one. So DTB vertical line at time. And I like I said, I just kept it on a simple indicator. So you can, basically add this to, it's just a simple indicator that I used. And adjust your email address. So apply and okay. And I've got to have this on the right account. So that's the account we're monitoring, right? Game plan strategies. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go connection disconnect. And then immediately I got that email, you see. DTB indicators detected no price movement within the last 3 minutes. Exactly that message. And then when I go connections and I connect again, immediately it's going to send me another email telling me that there's been a reconnection. The data feed reconnected. So yeah, it does work. You see, it does work. And the piece of shit was just giving me crap earlier. So there we go. So that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to be a monitor for your connection, because obviously sometimes you could have your strategies running, come back in a few hours time and the freaking NinjaTrader has lost connection. It's like, what the hell happened? Well, this is going to at least email you. And the nice thing about this is you can set up email, these alerts, and because it's got very specific words in there, you can flag those words on your email to send you like a ping alert to your mobile phone or whatever, so that you actually get alerted when that happens, and then you can log into your VPS via your phone or whatever and check what's happening with the connection. So pretty cool. As you can see, it works pretty nicely. What the fuck? So connections, I'm going to go disconnect again. The email, which was over there, that's going to immediately come through. No data connected. Okay. And then I do it again. So connections, and so by reconnecting it again, that email comes through again. See, data feed reconnected. Okay, so there we go. So it does work. All right. So and unfortunately, it doesn't deal with brute force disconnections. So, sometimes when NinjaTrader goes red, like the dot goes red, and that reconnects, it will send you an email when it reconnects. But with a brute force, NinjaTrader is basically switched off from sending emails when it has a brute force disconnection. So if you have something that is disconnecting NinjaTrader and making it go red, it's basically like a brute force disconnection, and NinjaTrader is not responding to that. So that's the problem. Just all it does is try to reconnect, but then you're still going to get that email saying, it has reconnected. Then you can check what happened while it was disconnected. All right. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Thank you so much for jumping on the call. I want to actually change these calls to more of a for quite a few years we had weekly Zoom calls. So we had Zoom calls where people were talking on the calls and backwards and forwards, asking questions, doing things. This is more like a one-way thing where I'm looking at Discord for a chat. But I ideally want to make this back into like a community call where you guys can all jump in via like a Zoom, or jump in via Zoom and actually talk to me and share your experiences, and and we can hold each other accountable to different things. You might want to ask specific questions during the call and be on them. So I want to convert it back to that for our weekly calls. I won't do it quite yet, but I think that's something that will be important, so we can have a more of a back and forth between us, rather than me just waiting for you guys to send messages on the group calls. There is some questions over there. Can we start the strategy and immediately pause it rather than change the start time? I don't think that actually works. I don't think that actually works. As soon as you start a strategy, those previous orders that are in the back end, they are waiting to execute. So you have to basically just change the time like 2 minutes, even if it's 1 or 2 minutes in advance of the time that you're actually on at the moment. That'll be fine too. Okay, so a question on how you arrive at the weekly game plan. Why would you discard any templates? Yeah, so there's no reason to specifically discard any templates. I like refreshing templates. I mean, there's some templates that you guys have been working with that have been around for a long time, and one of them is like the 210. And that reminds me, when we're looking at like something like the 210 strategy template, what I was saying on the chat earlier was that keep your A and B setting as 210 like this, okay? But then because this template has been working for such a long time, it's known as Christopher's X. That's funny, you guys. This is the template that you guys are working on, the 210 whatever, 210.0. But what you can do is still keep your 210, but use the second indicator as an additional filter to see if anything has shifted with that exact 210. Because remember, the second indicator, the setting C, is a second version or iteration of that existing indicator that is determining that 210, right? So it's basically a duplicate indicator, and it's basically using that second indicator as an additional filter to make sure that the trades that you are entering have got the highest probability of success. So that's what you can basically do with that. So still keep your initial settings 210, and then optimize the setting C, which is 2 to 58 on that. And then work with a few different values. So you guys are welcome to use any of the previous templates. And if you guys want to, every week when I release these templates, you can actually save them and just change the name of them. Take the DTB TT00 off at the end, because every time you run the script, it removes all of those templates, and it's basically going to replace it with with the updated ones. But there are so many different ways of running these strategies. There's so many different settings that work. It's like a huge thing. So I do like updating it. It's just what I like doing. I find that has been very effective than just sticking with one very specific one continuously. But remember, we're constantly dealing with market changes. So every few weeks you have quite significant market shifts in the actual price action and the range. So there's something called the average daily range, which we've got an indicator for. And what that does is it tells you what the average daily range is over an X period before. So if a contract, say the NQ, has a 250 point range on average. Now we used to have a 250 average range on the NQ for months. It was going on for months and months and months. It stuck around that 250 point range per day. You could quite comfortably look at that indicator. It'll tell you like 250, 248, 236, 252, 276. It kind of averaged around the 250. So when you're optimizing your automated strategies and you are looking at that specific range criteria that you're looking at, the automated strategy will function within there. But if you are going to have a range that is completely different, like now we're probably on 400-500 point range, well, the same automated settings that worked for the 250 range might not work for the larger range because the whole dynamic of the market has shifted, which is why it's not always, you're not going to have automated strategies that just perform well with the same settings all the time, because the market is not the same all the time. There are definitely periods of time where that average range, the whole fluctuation of the market between the highs and the lows over a period, they change and the average changes. So I try to keep up with, what the current, and whenever I do optimization, I always go forward like the next week to try to get the current, daily range, the current market, volatility, all of that encapsulated into the latest template. So that is that. I hope that explains it. Probably a very detailed explanation. But yeah, so I'll just wait for more questions on here. I think there's one more coming through. So your ABC setting. Oh, hang on. So your AB setting, take that. What? And okay, sorry, I'm struggling over here. Yeah, okay, so how do we use the one we have working and use it as a baseline and optimize those? Well, there's no real baseline, because you have to work out the specific, what's working currently. So it doesn't help knowing what happened 6 months ago, because the market was totally different 6 months ago. Jesus, if you go further, so some people say, oh, you can use the last 10 years worth of automated strategies and this is what it produces. And that's fucking bullshit. Sorry, I shouldn't be swearing. That's total crap, because 10 years ago, or 3 years ago, the NASDAQ was sitting at 7,500. Now it's like at 20,000. So, the ranges, the price movement, it's so vastly different. And that's why it's important to do regular optimizations, because you want to capture the latest market activity and have settings that will work within that. So I do like that. Okay. Yeah, you might have to ask me something after the call. We'll go through that. Okay, guys. I think that's it, guys. We'll end the call there. We're going to kick ass again. We've got absolutely amazing game plan. The results have been phenomenal. And to think somebody can start this with $59. They got $59, and within half an hour they can have their whole, trading platform set up, game plan running, and 100% automated. It's freaking phenomenal. Okay, guys, have an amazing week, and we shall chat later. Okay, thank you.